Raphinha is a motivational story. Raphinha, honestly, his ride to be one of the best players in the world of football needs to be stated more. He was at Vitória de Guimarães. She went to Sporting, then goes to Rennes, then goes to Leeds, then goes to Barca. Has a tough first season. Everyone in the summer starts to say, Nico, Nico, Nico. Raphinha says, no, Nico, no. I am enough and I am one of the best in the world.
The 2024-25 version of Raphinha is out of this world. Actually, for some people, it's a surprise how well he has been playing this term. But to be honest, if we dive deep into all the circumstances, the style of play of the new Barca, the figure of Hansi Flick, the players around Raphinha, it's actually not even a surprise how well the Brazilian fitted in Hansi's system. And today we're going to do just that, as well as analysing two players from Flick's and Barcelona's past who had an incredibly similar style to Raphinha's, but nobody talks about, and both were shining massively. Yes, he's shifted into a completely different gear for this campaign, but let's be honest with ourselves, even if you're Raphinha's #1 fan, you've probably thought that he should pack his bags sooner rather than later. Until recently, many Barca supporters were making videos on social media arguing that Raphinha should be on the exit ramp, and that Barca should accept Al Hilal's 100 million offer, that Laporta should buy Nico Williams. The lack of faith in the winger after a poor 2023-24 season has reached the point where pictures of Williams' new shirt with Raphinha's number on it have been circulating on social media. Well, to be honest, purely stat-wise, Raphinha's figures in his first two seasons at Barca weren't all that bad. He was the only man to reach the 10 mark in goals and assists in both seasons, with a total of 22 contributions in 2022-23 and 21 last term. But in reality, that was certainly not enough for the high price Barca paid for him, or at least judging by his form on the pitch. Often, after a decent performance from him, there was a bit of taste in the mouths of Barca fans that Raphinha just wasn't good enough to play for them. There are dozens of examples where he had scored some incredible goals, some masterpieces that are insanely difficult to pull off, but then at the end of the game he would be missing 2 or 3 sitters that he could have finished with his eyes closed. That was the biggest problem with his game until the end of 2023-24, and interestingly, it has been a problem for him throughout his entire career. He grew up in the favelas of Porto Alegre, where it was certainly difficult to make the top of the local game. He's always had that talent. It was evident even in his worst moments. But often, high potential is nothing if it's not backed up by determination. And in Raphinha's case, if he had X amount of talent, his determination was always 10, 20, 50, 100 times greater. And long before he had to fight dearly for a place in the Barcelona starting lineup, he had to do the same over and over again at a number of European clubs. It all started in Portugal with Vitória Guimarães. After that, he was making some flashes in Sporting Lisbon, hand in hand with Bruno Fernandes. But the first time he really got any attention in Europe was during his stay at Rennes in France. Then he got a first taste of the big time in England, donning the shirt of Leeds for the 2020-2021 season. After a slow start, he became a fan favourite, saving the team from relegation in 2021-22 and performing the iconic knee walk. And that was the best season of his career before 2024-25, scoring 11 times back then. Yes, he has already bettered that figure this season, but Raphinha is now a different gravy compared to the player he was 4 years ago. And apart from that, just look at the players he has now and the colleagues he worked with at Leeds: Jack Harrison, Patrick Bamford and Calvin Phillips. Really? It is not worth the comparisons, is it? But there is one big question: who was the man who unlocked that frightening potential? At the heart of this very question is one man, and his name is Marcelo Bielsa. When it comes to tactical expertise, Bielsa is a coach for whom the word intensity is paramount. When Raphinha arrived at Leeds, he was deployed on the right wing, and the Brazilian's high intensity was crucial to Bielsa's fast-paced system. That's right, he wasn't brought in for his flair, goal-scoring ability or anything like that. Raphinha was really that impressive when it came to intensity. He was literally perfect for that style of play. Of course, the typical Brazilian jogo bonito was also there, but the fact is that Raphinha has always been a different type of Brazilian. I mean, he has the dribbling ability and the trickery, but it is in a fast-paced environment that he really shines. and that was exactly what set him apart in the Premier League. Furthermore, Bielsa has repeatedly mentioned that one of the styles he learned from most early in his career is Rinus Michels' idea of the total football and the subsequent high-intensity game, further developed by Johan Cruyff. And you know what's interesting? Hansi Flick himself has also stated the same, that he has studied Dutch football school a lot, had learned about Johan Cruyff, and that his style was not far away from the idea Barca played before, with him and Pep. And well, since the German maestro's arrival, Raphinha's form has done a complete 360. The boy has gone from zero to hero in the space of a few weeks and is already earning some Ballon d'Or shouts for 2025. Raphinha's goal and 2 assists against Red Star Belgrade in the Champions League took his contributions tally to 14 in 7 consecutive games. 14 goals and assists in 1 month is truly remarkable, especially when you consider that it has all come from the left foot of the man everyone wanted to leave just a few months ago. Isn't it crazy how fast things can change in life, and how important it is to have the right people to guide you on your way to perfection? Because Hansi Flick is not as special as everyone makes him out to be, the German certainly doesn't have the tactical IQ of geniuses like Guardiola, Mourinho or Sir Alex Ferguson. But his style of play is simply unbeatable when he has the right people to implement it. And Raphinha is certainly one of the elements without which this system would not work as well, that is for sure. So it's safe to say that the two have helped each other a lot since they started working together in the summer. First, it was Flick who stood up for Rafa, and then the Brazilian repaid him with his magical performances. As you can see in our previous video on Barcelona's success, the tactical structure and similarities between Flick's Bayern Munich and Flick's Barca are a big part of their success. With that in mind, who was the most intense player in Munich? Well, the answer here is Serge Gnabry, and you'll be amazed at the similarities between him and Raphinha. First, both are super energetic, literally perfect for a high-pressing game, and thrive the most when the ball is intercepted and the midfielders throw some long balls into the open space. As we're seeing with Raphinha this season, the hat-trick against Bayern, the goal versus Real Madrid and Espanyol, all of them are scored after a long pass towards Raphinha. And in these cases, Rafa finds the ball perfectly and makes the right decision to find the back of the net cleanly. Another thing he has massively improved in his game this year, the decision-making. As far as comparisons with Gnabry are concerned, apart from the energy they both put into their pressing actions, the two are actually very successful with the weak foot. We all remember the right-footed beauty that Raphinha delivered against Gnabry's Bayern Munich. The most striking similarity, however, is their approach to one-on-one situations against an opposing defender. It's no secret that Raphinha isn't the kind of footballer like Neymar or Lamine Yamal who can beat defenders with a silky move or by simply outrunning them, as Nico Williams and Ousmane Dembele often do. No, Raphinha is actually very clever and most of the time makes the better decision to simply pass the ball to one of his teammates, who can put it on a plate for him behind the defence. As mentioned earlier, this is a part of the game that this Barcelona team plays to perfection, and it is shocking how many teams have struggled to defend from. And now for something that's been overlooked about Barcelona's new duel, his resemblance to club legend Rivaldo. As we all know, when a footballer shines out of the blue, the media love to draw parallels between them. In this context, it's surprising that no one has yet noticed the striking similarity between Raphinha and Rivaldo. When Rafa was unveiled in the summer of 2022, the winger wore a necklace with the letter R on it. When asked about who the chain was in honour of, Raphinha replied that the R stands for the 2 most successful Brazilian footballers in Barcelona's history, whose names start with that letter, Rivaldo and Ronaldinho. And if we look more closely at the styles of Rivaldo and Raphinha, we see that they are twins when it comes to their playing style. Both are left-footed, both have a powerful shot from distance, both are capable of scoring some spectacular free kicks, and of course, have the vision of some of the best midfielders in the world. He recently commented on Raphinha's spectacular form in 2024-25, confirming that his greatest confidence comes from the coach. A player of Raphinha's quality needs this. Xavi is a good man, he's a friend, but I don't think he gave him that much confidence. He'd put him on and then take him off. Now he's got the coach's confidence and you can see it on the pitch. He's already one of the captains. Yes, the 1999 Ballon d'Or winner is clearly seeing things the right way given his experience at Camp Nou, and his opinion on the matter certainly gives us a clue as to the main reasons why Europe should fear Raphinha. Yes, from a current perspective, the sky is the limit for the Brazilian, and if he does indeed manage to maintain this amazing form, he will certainly end a memorable season with Barcelona. Interestingly, if he continues to contribute like this, he will finish 2024-25 with more than 50 involvements, but it remains to be seen if he can sustain that level of performance. What do you think? Is Raphinha going to get more and more decisive, or will Laporta sooner or later turn his attention to a sharper winger like Nico or Rafael Leo, for example? Also, if you enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit the like button, just as Raphinha would like to win his first Champions League in Barcelona this season. Until next time,